And I'm Carolina.
And this is our podcast, Water into Wine.
Today we're going to be reading about the story of Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel are Adam and Eve's first two sons.
Okay.
So it is from Genesis chapter 4, verses 1 through 26.
Cain and Abel. So these are the first four people.
Yep, the first four people are Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel.
Okay.
Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept flock, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord, and Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." So I feel like this is like the first act of jealousy, and jealousy is also a sin.
Right.
So maybe, Cain was the firstborn, and then there's a new baby.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking.
So Cain's the older brother.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that maybe when Cain gave his offering to God, that God could sense the jealousy in his heart from his brother.
That's
and
what I'm thinking.
Said, like, this is not pleasing to me because you're not coming to me with like a pure heart. You're coming to me with like this feeling you have towards your brother, and it's ruining.
Right.
Yeah.
But his brother also gave God like actual animal like offering.
Yeah, but they gave
Cain
what they
could.
Yeah, and like that was their craft. So I feel like he brought forth what he thought that he had, but I feel like something in his heart, because he even says he must be feeling like conflicted and tempted, because
he said that the sin is knocking at his door. Like he already knew
Yeah.
that there was something there that could make him do a sin.
Yeah. Yep, and I think that that's what that has to do, because it doesn't say anything about why God was displeased with his offering over
Yeah,
Abel's.
he must already known. Yeah, because
he knows everything.
He does.
And then it says, "Now Cain said to his brother Abel, 'Let's go out to the field.' While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him." So he let his inside jealousy take over, like what God was saying, like, be careful. Right. So let's see what happens now. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." But the Lord said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden.
So God cursed Cain. God cursed Cain because he killed Abel, but he didn't want anybody else to kill him because he doesn't want the killing to continue, because
it's a sin. It's sinful. And also he wanted him to have to live with his consequences.
True. Which is weird, because it's like, who's going to kill you? Your mom and your dad?
Well,
right?
At this point, they're starting to repopulate. So maybe he's talking about like later on.
Right, because I feel like every time that we do read the Bible, we can tell that there's so much time in between each like verse that we read, right? There's a lot that happens.
Right.
That just skips over and just gives us the main events, the main points. because there's obviously more people. And that sucks. He killed his brother pretty fast too. All because he got. You think he killed him because God rejected his gift and it probably
Like
made
that
him
made
feel
him even more
more.
mad,
Yeah, that's what I
more
kept thinking. Like, oh, why'd
jealous.
he do that?
Right. Like I was here and everyone loved me, and then here comes this new little kid and took all the attention, and now God favors him over me.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's not cool. And then he let all of those feelings,
Right.
and that's crazy. That's scary, but that actually really does happen.
That happens. Yeah. It's crazy that God didn't stop it before it happens, but I guess that's the evil fighting as well, you know, because there's always same push that good has, evil has as well. Dude, that's terrible. Why he would? It just started and people are already killing each other. That's crazy.
Right.
His siblings.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine, or like being so mad that like that's my answer. But I guess different people have different struggles and different like ways of thinking.
That's true. Like your anger, it takes over you, and you don't really think about the consequences or what you're
Right.
doing at the moment.
And that really just shows like how much jealousy like can cause like such bad things to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and why it is important to like not be jealous of someone else for what they have or who favors them more, but to like look at what you're given and your blessings and just be happy,
Right.
because nothing good comes from jealousy.
Nothing.
It's one of the first sins, like along with murder.
Yeah, they were side by side.
Yeah, this was the first murder.
The first murder, and it was Adam and Eve's kids.
Yep.
Like you see how
Brothers.
fast that evil like trickled down. Like it didn't
The
take
sin
a moment.
spread.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, like God created life, so he should really be the only thing that like takes it away. It should not be up to anyone's hands, and that's why it's very serious. Yeah, this says here, like you said, like um sin's already happening so fast. It There was a note exactly about that. It says they may have thought their sin wasn't very bad, but notice how quickly their sinful nature developed in their children. Simply disobedience quickly degenerates into outright murder. Adam and Eve acted only against God, but Cain acted against both God and another person. A small sin has a way of growing out of control, and we should let God help us with our little sins before they turn into tragedies.
Which is so true. Yeah, we have to catch ourselves before
right.
our mind really takes over.
Right, because just imagine, like, you know, God was actually talking to them, and he told him, like, be careful, I'm not pleased with your gift, but don't let whatever you're feeling like get it out of control so it turns into something worse. And at that point he should have been like, well, I'm not really understanding, I'm feeling all this stuff. He should have went to God. And that's why prayer is so important, because it's our way to go to God when we're feeling this type of way, so he can help guide us. He didn't go to prayer to go to God to see what his problem was and what he needed to do to help it.
Yeah, that's so true. He should have prayed about his feelings, and way before he did that action. Definitely.
He let the transgression build up until
because
it was
I feel like
too
God
much.
is very direct, and he probably just expects,
especially at this time where they're so close to God.
Yeah, he expected him to just listen to him.
The more sin developed, the further away we got from God, and now we don't even have that that type of communication that Cain had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had God right there speaking to them directly, and that apple, after they ate that, it went downhill quickly.
Right. And
because killing your brother.
Right. And then after that, he was like, well, now they're going to kill me. And you're like, who's going to kill them? But you know what? Like, Adam and Eve were told to fill the earth. So I feel like his guilt and shame from killing his brother, and knowing that there was no one but his family like on the earth, and they were gonna, you know, obviously feel mad about
that. He had to leave from there.
Yeah, so maybe he was thinking like, oh no, I just did this horrible thing. God's mad at me. Now my family's gonna be mad at me. So someone's probably gonna do the same thing to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Cain was cast out again, like even further away, I feel like, to live like, not as blessed as
Mhm.
everyone else, but they just spread out, and that's how like things started to spread. I feel like,
Yeah.
because like obviously now Cain's further away from God, and
That's what
everyone
I was
else
exactly
is
that I was
living
thinking. He's just gonna
closely.
get worse.
Yeah,
Because he already was so close to him, and he did such a like terrible thing, and God told him that he kind of knew that that evil was creeping up on him. He told him, and he still didn't listen.
right.
So I'm pretty sure Cain is probably gonna get worse.
Exactly, because next we go right into Noah. Right after this story, we're gonna start learning about Noah and the flood.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned
Yeah,
with
the
us
time's
for
going by
next
fast.
week,
Yeah.
because that's an exciting story too. And it really like will help us open our eyes, especially now with all of the earthly tragedies and stuff going around us. Scary stuff
Yeah.
that makes it feel like we need to be closer to God, and this
Yeah,
will
man.
really
If
help
you
you.
scroll through Facebook for too long, you'll get like 6 different like headlines saying some crazy things of people doing stuff to other people, and it's so wild. Sometimes like it gets like normal reading stuff like that already. How
Right.
crazy like violence have really became. First of
And
all,
it's kind of like very eye opening when you read this stuff, because when God decided to wipe out the world with the flood, it was very sinful. It was a very sinful place. People were doing whatever they wanted. It got out of hand. They weren't listening. And then they didn't even believe him that he was going to do it. And he made a promise us that he would never do that again. So it's not like we're probably going to get that second chance to hop on an ark.
right? Yeah.
So
He didn't like what he did. That's why he's such
no,
he's
because he's a
kind.
loving God. He
He's
doesn't
kind.
want
Yeah.
to have to do that to the things he created.
I wonder if he didn't even expect Cain to do that. Because we think that he probably knew, but
Right.
it was so
Well,
early
I
on. Who
feel like
knows?
maybe he was hoping that after he expressed that he wasn't pleased with his gift, that Cain would come to him to get a better explanation. I feel like he's not trying to be in their heads and to be like, that super all knowing God, because he still wants people to do better or want to
Yeah.
do better themselves. But yeah, that is the story of the first
And then Abel.
the first brothers in the Bible, the first murder.
The first two brothers. That's terrible, right? Like the first two brothers get that jealous. Well, I guess not Abel. Abel wasn't jealous. He was just doing what he had to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he understood exactly what was going on. He was so innocent.
And really jealousy of what too? Because it's just your mom and your dad and God. How are you gonna be that jealous of your brother?
I don't know, I'm the favorite, so I've never had to experience jealousy before.
Same here. I don't be jealous. No, that's sad.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure you guys join us next week as we hop into Noah and his story.
Yeah, this story's moving along fast,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
'Cause we already seen we got the first two people, then they had kids, now the first murder, and now already it's going to what is it, the ark, where that's where the world
Yeah,
gets
the
destroyed,
flood,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Genesis. We're going to make our way through it. You want to be here when we do it because it's going to be great. I love learning about all this stuff all over again. And it really, really, really helps you realize that, like,
Yeah, how serious
maybe we
everything
should
is.
be,
Yeah.
living our lives a little differently.
How it all started and how it is right now. It
Hmm.
seems like that's not even what we were made from, because that's everything is so different.
Hmm.
From plowing to the getting our food from just the ground, and like working hard to build stuff. We just go to stores.
Right.
We go to the stores, and there's so much crime every day.
Because people are taking advantage of how easy it has become to sin and live here.
Right. But what did you say? How much of a rise there was on Bible people buying Bibles? That's a good thing.
Like 22%.
Yeah. What, 2024?
Yeah, it went
That's
up.
good.
Like, that's
See?
really good.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
And a lot more people are actually like reading it and like on the apps and everything. And like, it's really nice to have a Bible. It is so nice. Because you have it right in front of you. You can do whatever you want to it. I highlight.
And in the back, you could like find like something that you're feeling, like let's say you're feeling sad or depressed or so thankful, and you could go in the back where it says like, well, I don't have my Bible with me right now, so I can't tell you. But they have, it'll say this is like this word, go to this section. And
it'll have different like Bible verses for whatever word you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's how I open up my Bible every day. I'll be thinking like, okay, well today I'm feeling, grateful, so then I'll go in the back, look for grateful, and look at all the verses.
And a lot of verses also, they have maps and stuff. So if you're like super curious into like seeing where all this stuff is, like you can flip through and like look at it and then compare it to maps nowadays. And it just helps. It helps get a better understanding. Bible, if you don't have one, I would go look. They have some like as cheap as $6 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So. But thank you guys for joining us this week. We can't wait to learn about Noah next week. You don't want to miss it.
Yes. Thanks for listening.
Bye.